It is an absolute firecracker!
All right, like Phil Jagielka net the equalizer last weekend at Liverpool, we are back.
We are
It's
back.
the Box to Box podcast, second edition of the new season. As always, I'm joined by Shane Altuis. What's up, Shane?
Strap up your boots and let's get ready to go.
We're taping this about an hour and a half late because Shane's having technical difficulties, aka just hanging out with his family.
What up?
Brian, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Unhappy to be here after the wait.
Classic, and then Dabs, how we doing?
I'm doing okay except for this all-nighter we're about to pull, so let's do it.
It's ridiculous. I have to wake up in like
It's literally 10 p.m.
So let's get some stuff going here, gentlemen. Big couple of days in Champions League. Roma getting a sweet draw at Man City. We'll get to that in a second. But first, today, Arsenal.
Big
4-1 over Galatasaray. Whoa, Mike, what did you say?
Just dropping that four burger on them, and actually Arsenal picked They picked a proper lineup with Ozil in the middle and then Speed on the wings with Welbeck up front in the hole. It's perfect. This is the way they should be playing. It's the way they're supposed to put out their lineup, and that's what they should have done against Tottenham. But we'll get to that later.
Also, a lot of good defending by Galatasaray.
Great defense.
Solid effort.
Three at the back, not going to work out well for them.
Zero in the back, it looked like.
That's what happens when you lose Drogba, dude.
I know.
I mean,
Thanks, a lot, too.
Mike,
This
is the Giroud injury like a blessing in disguise for this team?
I hate to look at injuries as blessing in disguises, but everyone knows we needed to sign another striker. And if the injury helped Arsene Wenger sign another striker, then I guess so. But we needed someone with pace to get behind that back line. Giroud doesn't bring the pace. He brings a lot of other great attributes to the team, but he's not going to be the person to run behind defenders and make them on their back heel. We needed some pace in there to go along the side with Oxlade-Chamberlain, Theo Walcott, and Alexis Sanchez.
Shane, you're our resident Galatasaray supporter. What did you think?
I got the scarf in the other room. No, they looked, out of sorts throughout this entire match. I really think, the only time Galatasaray is going to do well in the Champions League when they're playing at home. We saw that last year. They challenged.
Juventus, right?
Well, it's tough to go
at home.
It's tough to go to Turkey and play. The crowd
It's
there
tough
is
to go to
insane.
Istanbul to play, yeah, and I agree. But this is just it's a very typical Arsenal win. They had won one game in their last six leading up to this match,
Yeah.
and it's just a typical one. You feel like again the whole Arsenal fans are gonna be like, oh well, we got Welbeck. Well, before this they were saying we had Ozil back, we had Wilshere back. Every match is someone else we have back, and everyone else falls out of form. So this is just a typical Arsenal match. And
All right, I'm
I
just
think
laughing
we'll
because
carry it.
school go because Mike swore, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
I'm laughing because you're laughing.
My boys, Roma, huge draw at City. We'll get to Roma in a second, but first off, I want to talk about what City's terrible in Europe.
Why are they so bad? Shane, do you
First
know?
off, Pellegrini, you're playing two in the midfield. Roma had possession for the entire first 60 minutes of that game, and they didn't do anything until Milner came in. What is their deal?
They were home too. That's not how you play at home.
Plus, they weren't even near capacity, and then the two teams were trolling each other on Twitter, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's
What's
always
up with
easy.
City? What is up with City? Somebody.
It's just.
I thought that was a
I don't think.
justification.
I don't think anyone knows. They have amazing talent. Why can't they play these games midweek? It makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense.
I think it comes down to it's a club that has a lack of experience in Europe and they have the world class talent, but it just seems to be there's a lack of confidence when they play on these Wednesday and Tuesday nights.
I feel like they're like a light
Roma's a
switch too,
beast.
though. We'll have one game where they score 5 goals and look amazing, and then next game they score 0 or 1 against not a bad Roma team, but not their best players in.
Yeah, I mean, Roma is without De Rossi, De Sanctis, both their center backs, Strootman. Iturbe didn't even start. Destro didn't play.
Yeah. I mean, Roma's had a hell of a start for Champions League.
You got to think with this that puts them in the driver's seat to move on.
I think so.
A lot of games to be played. They still have to play Bayern twice, City back at home. But I mean, it's the start that every Roma fan would have looked.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, I think in the matches that I've watched Roma play, we give all the praise to Pjanic, Iturbe, and Totti this season. But watching them play, Nainggolan is the guy who really gets this team moving forward.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's good.
He's the engine in this lineup for them, and he's so impressive and doesn't get nearly the credit he deserves. He is certainly someone who should be making a mark for Belgium sooner than later.
Let's not forget the Arsenal great Gervinho out there just running up and down.
Gervinho's a beast. Iturbe is awesome, and I think they'll get Stroopin back, and that'll be great. And maybe 9 goals.
When's he due back, by the way? Does he come back anytime soon?
Garcia said maybe by the next Man City game, which I believe is in December.
Yeah, that'll be a while away. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it'll be a while, but all right. So I'll get to Tati and my dummy runs later.
That's right, baby. Hashtag it.
Hashtag dummy runs. But let's get to some of the EPL action here. We'll look back at last week. Liverpool, Everton, Jagielka.
Rocket. Are you kidding me?
Like I can't even believe that happened. Like he hadn't scored in over a year. And I don't know, Brian, what are your thoughts on that? Steven Gerrard's free kick was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, 2 awesome goals. Liverpool just looks out of place with Balotelli, and like we said in the last podcast, without Sturridge doesn't help. Sterling hasn't looked all that special. Their midfield seems poor. Their defense isn't great. They're just not like moving
not a lot
around
of
the front.
here.
No, it's not. I mean, there's nothing really positive to say. That being said, they actually were in Everton's third a lot of that game, and then they just played horrible the last 20 minutes and almost lost.
Put that game away, Brian.
Easy, very easy.
That was also a great save by Tim Howard, but
of course,
yeah.
People should.
But he should. That's the difference between players like him and obviously a massive gap, but Diego Costa. But they put the ball in the net, and he just doesn't. Sometimes he scores miraculous volleys from 20 yards, but he doesn't have the technicality to just put the ball in the net when he's right there, and that's what kills his game.
I mean, they're sitting at 14th and 15th in the table. Both these teams are struggling.
Yeah, it's not good for either of them. I think
They're
still
going
needs
to need
time.
some time to mesh, but without Sturridge, they look horrible.
I don't know. For me, last year they were just so fluid in attack. I mean, they were this year's Manchester United last year with just the way they would go all out. They'd press you for the first 60 minutes, then just drop back and hold the lead that they try to get at the start. With Balotelli and Lallana, in the lineup, they look slow on the counterattack. Balotelli just doesn't fit that fluidity in that whole system that they really had last year.
Well, last year they were fun to watch. This year they're just not fun to watch. They're just struggling.
I know they say Sturridge and the defense. I'm not worried about the defense because last year like they said, they scored goals for fun, and that doesn't seem to be like, even with Sturridge coming back into the fold, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Before we move on to Mike's Arsenal again, I just want to say something about Everton. I mean, they're just crushed. They're just being crushed with injuries. I mean, Morales went out in that game. They're already down with Barkley.
Seamus is
Distance
down.
out. Seamus is out. I mean, I'm thinking they might dig themselves too big of a hole here to even come back once they do get healthy, but we will see. But it was huge, obviously, getting to that point. Mike, what do you have to say about Arsenal? I know they drew Tottenham.
Yep, they drew. It felt like 2 points lost. We had like 70% possession throughout the whole game.
Yeah, and your boy, you think your boy Sanchez is playing out of position?
I think my boy Sanchez needs to start the game. First of all, that's
probably a decent start.
Shane, you play your electric player down the wing like you're supposed to.
But see, he should be playing down the wing, but
you don't think he should have started against Tottenham?
I think you should have handled that game without him, and I understand.
We wasted. Why did we start him in the Capital One Cup game against Southampton? We should have saved him for Tottenham.
Exactly. With him playing against Southampton, you have to choose a game to rest him. You have to bounce back in Champions League. So you wanted him for Galatasaray, and then you have the big game that's coming up this weekend. So you had to rest him at some point.
Yeah, but Tottenham at home is Arsenal's top 2 biggest game of the year, along with.
Actually,
you have to put out the team against Tottenham.
How did you feel about Chadley running at your supporters, shushing them, and then holding up the hand to the ear?
And then getting the yellow card? Which I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the yellow card. But, I mean,
Chadley.
Who knows nothing about the rivalry. Let him do what he wants. I mean, that's not like Adebayor doing it a couple years ago. I mean, Chadley's nobody to us. Like, he could do what he wants. I mean,
but that dummy kick, though.
That dummy kick by Welbeck, everyone. That's what this podcast is about. That dummy
kick. Run! All right, hey, let's move this on. We're wasting a little bit of time here. Let's get to Arsenal-Chelsea this weekend. Mike, what are your thoughts on that game?
Well, it's away at the Bridge, but I mean, today the game against Galatasaray really built up our confidence. Maybe Welbeck nets one. It's going to be tough playing against Cesc Fabregas again, just a childhood hero of mine playing for Arsenal.
How upset are you?
Childhood.
It's
late teen hero.
I'm still a child. Late teen hero. It's going to be tough to watch him run around in a Chelsea uniform, but I mean, it's a game. Everyone's going to be pretty well professionals. They got to go out and do the best they can. But I mean,
what do you got for score, man?
Yeah, let's get picked.
It's going to be 1-1 or maybe 2-2. It'll be a draw, I think. I'm hoping for a draw. Okay.
No.
Wishful thinking. Shane?
It's going to be 3-1 Chelsea. It's not even
Hey!
close.
How many goals does Costa have?
I mean, when is Chelsea? I mean, Arsenal done well against the top 4 in recent years. So
It's a great point. They beat everybody else except for the top 4.
which is great. Which is why I predicted them to finish so well because they handle their business against everyone else. They just can't handle it.
We just don't show up.
Brian, who you got?
I got Chelsea 2-1. Costa scores 1. If it was an Arsenal, I'd say a draw, but Chelsea's just look too good.
They literally look
Yeah, I don't
good.
think there's any way Arsenal has a shot to win this game. Sorry, Mike.
It's all right.
And
Well, we'll be
I'm
watching
gonna
it
say
together
two.
on Saturday, so I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
Sunday. Sorry,
smoking
Sunday.
FIFA, NBA.
Sunday.
Yeah, you're not even a real fan. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-0. I think
okay.
it's just Chelsea's just too good. They're the class of the EPL. Then the other great matchup that we're gonna talk about this weekend: Manchester United. What up, Shane? At Everton. Everton is just hurt again. Manchester United. It's like a team or a matchup of two dysfunctional teams.
Two
One of
bottom
them is
half
all
teams, we
injured.
should say, I guess.
Yeah.
We're only
First
2
off,
points.
Man U isn't in the bottom half.
They're 7th right now.
Yeah. So in your face, Mike.
Apologies.
Making a comeback. Hey, we're the little engine that could. We are pushing
Okay.
hard.
I
Yes,
love
the
you're
tank.
gonna compare
I love how
Man
Man U
United
plays the
to the
under.
little
We are
engine that could.
Fucking Man United right now.
Get
The
out.
little
Okay,
engine that's
next-
got
Yeah, we're
Next
the underdog.
topic.
You're freaking
Next
Man
topic.
United.
Next topic. Next topic.
This
I'm
is
over
done. We'll
this.
just get takes. I'm tired. I'm already sick of this. I'm saying 7-0 Everton.
I'm gonna say Jagielka scores 3 for a 4-0 Everton
Nice.
win.
Brian?
On a serious note, I think Man U's front just attacks Everton
That's way
hard.
too much.
Tim Howard keeps them in the game, but it's a dominating 2-0, 2-1 performance by Man U.
All right. And Shane?
I actually would probably pick a draw at Goodison Park, but the fact that Everton's playing Thursday night in the Europa League, I think I'm
You don't
just back
just
to bite them.
come in to Goodison
You
Park.
don't.
No, I do,
expect
but
to get
like-
draw.
They didn't do well last time.
If
they played
anyone
on
could, it's
Thursday
that
night,
little
and I don't
engine,
think they do
Man
well
U.
It's that-
again.
Yeah.
So I
Those
think-
scrappy underdogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think scrappy Man United pull out maybe like a 2-1 win.
Get out of here. Let's make it time for everyone's favorite segment now.
All right. Everyone's favorite. Dummy run!
Runs.
All right. Who wants to start?
I'll start us off.
All right, let's go, Shane.
So I'm actually going to go to Serie A. And going to go to the matchup last week between Inter and Cagliari, and which saw the rare setup formation by Cagliari at the start of the match of a 2-0-8 to start the match. And it proved to be effective as they went on to win 4-1 against Inter. But rarely do you see the
That's just how
innovative
it's done.
2-0-8.
Are you sure that's not a formation Brian created in FIFA?
Yeah.
No,
It might be.
actually, it was what happened at the start of the match. There was 8 people on the halfway line at the start of the match, so that is my dummy run.
Hey, that's a great
love
segment.
it.
Love it,
Alright,
love it.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go next. I'll run it.
Dummy
Just
run!
building off Shane's there, I don't know why you put anybody up front besides a barbell. The guy's the tank.
Guy's the
But,
best player in FIFA.
My dummy run is obviously back to Porto, the Porto run of this segment.
Always.
It's just a
Always.
weekly Porto update. Great 2 goals by the sub Jackson Martinez in the 88th and 94th to get that point at Shakhtar in Champions League. Stay atop of the group. Porto all day. That's your dummy run of the week.
A dummy
Dummy run!
run.
All right. So I'll go next, Mike. You can finish
All right,
up
sounds
since I
good.
went last time. I want to just talk about Francesco Totti. He's just an ageless wonder.
Hero.
He becomes the oldest player at 38 to score a goal in the Champions League in that draw against City. And I was reading an interesting article from Gabriele Marcotti on ESPNFC.com just about, I guess, like, people across his career have been like, oh, he's not that good because if he was actually good, he would have went and played in a different league and left Roma. How about he's just loyal to Roma? He grew up a Roma fan and wanted to play there.
Yeah,
I think it adds to his legacy that he played
Yeah,
at this
absolutely.
club that he loves for his entire career. And I mean, he's never had pace. He's never been a fast guy. He's just a smart footballer. And I think at the end of the day, like, he's 38 years old and he's still balling outrageous out there. And I think he's going to lead Roma past this group and to get out of the group stage in Champions League. So that is my dummy run. And Mike, let's finish
Dummy
it up for us.
run. All right, to end it up, I'm going to take it off the pitch and into the stands of the games. This is going to backtrack off the Galatasaray Arsenal game where Galatasaray fans were getting a bit rowdy, throwing flares on the pitch, kind of ruined the game, broke up for about 3-5 minutes. Had to get that all straightened out. Fans, listen, everyone loves what you do in the stands. Keep it in the stands. Throw off smoke grenades, flares, blow up dolls, flags. Do everything in the stands.
Boo. You threw it onto the carpet.
Don't throw
And
them
then-
on the carpet. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Oh
Keep the
my
racist chants, the
God.
bananas. Keep everything in the stands and let the players play.
Here's looking at you.
Be smart.
Smoke grenades.
Thanks, Sepp Blatter.
How many
And
smoke
this thing
grenades
on
are we
the-
getting?
I don't know.
Speaking of smoke grenades, how many smoke grenades are we getting for the send-off game to Landon Donovan.
Just look for smoke and you'll find us at the game.
Yeah,
That's all
just
we're
look
gonna
for
say.
3 flags.
Mike's
So
dummy
guys,
run
don't
dedicated to
Don't
fans
shoot
in
at
Eastern
me.
Europe.
Do as I say, not as we do.
Hey, well, I'm not throwing them
Three
onto the
throws.
field, Shane. We'll be in the
You don't know
stands. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, so as we were just blabbering about, we will be at the USA-Ecuador match.
Of course, in full
next
force.
Friday. So come see us. We'll be hanging out with the American Outlaws in tailgate and in the fan sports section.
Howard.
Thanks again for checking out the podcast at the Box to Box Show on Twitter and at theboxtoboxshow@gmail.com. Hit us up with your questions and we'll get to it. We'll be doing this every week, so appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
Cheers, everyone.
Later.
See ya.